Jimmy, welcome to the show. Guys, Jimmy is my Muay Thai coach and a good friend of mine. We've been working together for, I don't know, probably about 6 months now, a little over 6 months with me leaving and coming back. But Jimmy just had his 5th pro MMA fight on the UFC Fight Pass at Cage Fury. So he's working his way up there. He's going through it. And today we're just going to talk through some of the process and procedure of becoming a pro fighter and what it looks like from the inside out. So, Jimmy, welcome.
Awesome, dude. Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here. Just a little hop, skip, and a jump away down the road.
Yeah.
So happy to hear, talk a little bit, and just get to know each other a little more.
Yeah, so originally, what got you into MMA? Like, what were you doing prior? Did you wrestle in high school? Did you...
Yeah, so I never wrestled, right? Well, I guess you could say I wrestled a little bit. I wrestled in 7th grade. I wrestled for one season. It was a short season. You wrestled against like the neighboring school in Jacksonville, right? So I wrestled 1 year. It was one match at the end of the year, and I lost. I got pinned. I was like, okay, well, I don't know if this is for me. But more or less, I played football my whole life, ran track, threw disc, and ran hurdles, right?
Okay.
So that's what I did through high school. And then from high school, I went to Florida Tech. I played 4 years of football there. I was a defensive end, had a good time, super nice. I got done playing football, and I was I was kind of like lost, right? I got graduated.
That weird like post-athlete feeling.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a really good topic. It's like you can almost call it like post-athlete syndrome. Like you go from like identifying yourself as, you know, a football player, or it happens to a lot of bodybuilders when they finally realize, hey, this isn't for me.
Exactly.
Or in like my brother and I, we rolled right from wrestling to bodybuilding. So we didn't have much of that until I stopped, like officially was like, I'm not competing anymore.
Yep.
This is not what I want to do. And then you kind of like, your training gets weird. You're like, because you're not really training for anything anymore, but you still want to be healthy. But then you're like, for you, once football's done, you're not going to go train football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like bodybuilding, you're in the gym, you're lifting, you want to look good, you want to feel good, but you're like, I just don't really, you don't feel purpose of it, you know?
Exactly.
And that's part of the reason I joined Killer Bees, because like, I mean, I haven't competed in 10 years. I mean, I think a little less, but around there. But ever since then, I've been lifting and stuff, but like not that seriously. I started running, I started rock climbing, I started paddleboarding, I started Muay Thai, just different stuff to kind of, you know, feed that that want for activity or something.
Yeah, that hunger for just like your free spirit and doing something and being active, right? You want to be healthy and find different avenues that can push yourself to be, you know, better each day, right?
And that's part of like, I mean, I know I suck at Muay Thai and I get beat up and shit, but it's that challenging of the mind, you know, like you're not in everyday life, you're not throwing your left, right, elbow, knee, then kicking with your right leg and then stepping. And then it's just like, it challenges your brain to do so many motions at one time.
Yeah. Little things that like you've had locked in since you think you're a kid, just learning your lefts and rights. You're like, oh, this is fine. Then you go to your first Muay Thai class and it's like, all right, you're going to jab with your left hand. And it's like, all right, jab. And you throw a knee and you're like, what am I doing? Why can't I figure out my rights and lefts? And it's like, there's just a lot going on.
And being coached in it is so different from like just fighting. Because my brother and I and our friends, like we're little country kids that, my parents, I don't know why they thought this was a good idea, but we had wrestling mats in the basement and boxing gloves, and we were constantly, I mean, like, it was like a daily thing to go down there, be like, hey, you put the gloves on? And just beat the piss out of each other for literally no reason. And, like, no one ever got mad about it, but we'd be, like, literally ground and pound each other, like, obviously not super aggressive, but, like, just messing with each other. And then you go to learn, and you're like, wow, I don't know anything.
So funny being, like, trained in it versus untrained. Like, oh, I've been in street fights, I've done this, I've fought this person here. It doesn't correlate.
It does not.
Does not correlate. To actually like being trained in the art and in the ring to like compete is a whole different ballgame.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I think I told you at practice the other day, I fell into like the fighting algorithm on Instagram.
Yep.
And now I'm seeing all these fights on in cage and on street. Dude, these people should they should be embarrassed they got in a fight. Even if they won. Like, the winner of the fight, it's still like, they're like rolling around, humping each other on the ground. It's like, insane. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing.
Insane behavior. Well, it's like, go to like some amateur, like low-level amateur fights, right? you go watch these guys and you're like, oh my gosh, like these guys look ridiculous. And it's like, those guys train every day for this. And that's what they look like right now. How do you think you're going to look?
Oh, I know.
You know, it's like you've never trained or anything. It's like, how are you going to look?
So getting into like amateur fights, because I know we've talked about this before, like the variety of fighter at amateur fights is literally like very skilled, very strategic to guy in like Walmart gym shorts that looks like he signed up day of and never trained in his life.
It could be chaos.
So who is the person that's like, yeah, you can fight. You can fight today. Go ahead. Go on in there.
So it's different, but it's kind of state by state basis.
Okay.
Depending, right? Let's just talk about Florida, right? So Florida, you need a couple of things to fight as an amateur.
Keep going. All right.
So you need a couple of things to fight as an amateur, right?
All right.
You need to be over 18.
Okay.
If it's going to be like, there's different rules for youth, right? But let's just say like an adults. So you're over 18. From 18 to 40, you have a rule set, and then from 40 on, you have a different rule set.
Really?
Okay. For the rule set, I'm talking more like medicals, right? Okay. So you need blood work, which is, they call it the combative trio.
All right.
Which is Hep C, Hep B, and HIV test.
Okay.
So every fight that you see in a cage, the guys are always tested, like their blood.
That's
right?
good.
So it's safe. You're not going out there and it's like, oh, I mean, blood on blood, open wounds, everything. Yeah. So it's good. Yeah, you have to have that, right?
Dude, like Patty beating up Chandler that last fight.
Insane.
Dude, just blood all over both of them. I was like, that is nasty.
But they're tested, and it's good.
That's good.
And then the second thing in Florida that you'd have to need is an eye exam. Okay. Right? You need to go to an ophthalmologist or an optometrist, and you need to get a dilated eye exam.
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So getting the eye exam and the blood work is like the main thing. You don't even need a coach for Florida. You can just, like, if you're in with the promotion, say there's,
you can just be
you could, like, if you know a promotion is having fights, you could go talk to their matchmaker and be like, hey, I'm ready to fight. Where you train? I train on my garage. That's it. Or you could have these guys that are like extremely serious about the sport, that are training, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day, with 10 pros in the same gym. And they're just like, I need to bang out some amateur fights to get some cage time. And then from there, they're going to be, they want to take the next step. So,
wow. So it really is like in Florida, anybody can.
I mean, this is for the most states. Like amateur to the pro level is so different. Mm-hmm. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. Like when the difference between the pros and the amateurs, one, it's the skill set, right? Mm-hmm. You've been tested, but like even if I never trained or anything before and was like, I'm gonna go fight pro.
How do you go pro? Like what officially makes you a pro fighter?
The coach's blessing, is like the main thing. Like you want to go pro when you're ready.
Yeah.
Right. So like your amateur record doesn't carry over to your pro record, right?
Okay.
So the goal as an amateur is to get experience, to learn. Win or lose, just get out there, get in the cage, learn, feel the fight, get in front of the lights, get in front of the fans, and prepare yourself to go pro. That's the real reason of amateurs.
Okay. Now, without coach's blessing, could you sign up for a pro fight again?
You can go straight pro.
You have to go straight pro.
You have to do different medicals. You have to do a little more medicals. Blood, eyes, maybe a physical. And sometimes the commissions for like the pros, they have your coach fill out like a letter, like, have you seen this person train in the last, like spar in the last 6 months or this or that? They ask you a few questions. I don't know the questions off the top of my head, but it's been like signed off stuff before. Like I fought in Philly, North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, Canada. We've done so many medical forms that I don't know what's what. But sometimes it's like, I see the paper and I'm like, of course my coach has seen me do this. But like some people don't have coaches and they still fight. So
that's wild. Even at pro, they don't have coaches?
Pro they do. At that point, it's kind of all like those growing pains were figured out.
Yeah.
But the amateur could be insane.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Huh. That is wild.
It's pretty funny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone watching, I'd highly recommend if there's a local amateur fight, like go check it out.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I would say they're more fun to watch than like UFC, like because it's a crapshoot. Like you are getting fight to fight. It is totally different. Where like most of the time at the pro high level, they're more methodical. You kind of know what's going on.
It's chess.
Yeah, exactly. Where those amateur fights are just chaotic, man.
Straight smokers.
And you have no idea what's coming. Like, we had these guys, we were at the last Hurricane fight before I left, and these like 125ers come out, and I was like, oh, this will be like scrappy, but like these guys never knock each other out. They're too light. Mm-hmm. Dude runs out, stuck in the face, dropped immediately, like boom, hits the mat, and we were like, holy shit!
You never expect it.
No, and it literally like they ran together, straight right to the jaw, and just crumbled.
That's it. It's a ticket too.
Yeah,
right on the button.
It's crazy. So,
I enjoy the amateurs.
Yeah, no, they're fun.
I coach a lot of them, right? I corner and coach a lot of our guys, so the amateurs are fun for us.
How many fighters do we have at Killer Bees?
Oh man, so like the Killer Bees Association, there's a bunch.
Yeah, but just like the Melbourne area.
Our HQ, we probably have 10.
10? I feel like it's a solid amount.
10 amateur fighters and then 3 of us pros.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say about 10.
Okay. Now, where would you say like your bread and butter, like, is Muay Thai your thing?
Yeah, so I train Muay Thai and I train Jiu-Jitsu every day.
Okay.
So every day, twice a day, is Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. Then you mix in the strength and conditioning. I do that 3 times a week. And then on the weekends, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we do a lot of MMA. Okay. So throughout the week, it's more just Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. And then the weekends, the wrestling, the MMA, the wrestling, the MMA, mixing it together. Okay. Right? We really like mix it together when the camp starts. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like, because we study our opponent and we study, what we need to do for that fight.
Do you guys wrestle at Killer Bees?
Oh, yeah.
When do you guys do that?
We wrestle a lot. We do the team training. We wrestle more.
Okay.
I
want to come wrestle
on Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
Tuesday mornings for the no-gi is always a lot of wrestling.
Okay.
And then we'll do a lot of wrestling like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like in my last camp, I went out to Alabama and I went out to Atlanta for a couple of days. Slept in the gym. Everything was cool. But like in the camp, yeah. I slept on a bunk bed, like a little tatami mat bunk bed. The mat's at the gym, framed out, like 2x4s. It's pretty cool. No way. But wrestled a lot.
Yeah.
All wrestling.
Dude, wrestling, I mean, now at this point, I haven't wrestled in so long. But I've always been curious, like, where, like, Muay Thai, I look like a injured giraffe or something. But, like, if I, like, I don't really want to come to like a sparring night. Like, I just feel like I'm not prepared for that.
I think you can do better than you think.
But I would like to like mix up a little Muay Thai with a little wrestling. Like, I don't know much jiu-jitsu, but like I feel like I could just kind of finagle it. I think that'd be fun.
I think it'd be great for you. So Friday nights when they do the Muay Thai sparring, right?
Yeah.
So we do like the first 5 rounds if you want Muay Thai. And then after that, you can just with your partner be like, yo, let's do MMA. Yeah. And you could do Muay Thai with takedowns. And even if you're wearing like 16-ounce boxing gloves, it's fun to take people down and punch them on the ground with those because you're not going to hurt anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
You might punch them a little bit, but you're not going to hurt anybody.
Yeah. I was up in Ohio training my brother. And there are some studs in that gym. And it's not very big, but like, there's just some units. And the coach, we were like doing flow sparring, whatever, but like MMA.
Yeah, it's good.
Which I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah. I
shot a single on him, and he just straight went, so pop, and just popped me right in the face. And he was like, oh, sorry, dude, I thought you were going to move your head. And I was like, I just thought I was quicker than that.
Yep. I just wanted to be better. Be better in the moment, right?
I thought I'd be out of the way by then.
Yep. It's like, oh, my head's still on the inside. Yeah. I'm still going to get hit. Definitely. I've won. So when I was an amateur, I fought a wrestler out of like West Palm Beach, and he grabbed a single leg on me. He was like a college wrestler. He was bigger than me, actually. He was like 6'4". He weighed in a little heavier than me, but still 205 limit. And he grabbed a single leg on me, and I actually threw a couple uppercuts, and I put him down with the uppercuts.
Really?
Yeah, the body collapsed, everything.
Yeah, that's a dangerous spot to be.
Well, my last fight, the guy was just holding me on the cage, and I threw the elbows on the head to kind of open up everything. So he was a state champion wrestler, national champion wrestler, flow champion wrestler, and we got in the cage, and he just like he punched me and then grabbed me and put me on the cage. I was like, okay, this is I've seen you do this before in his last fight, but luckily the elbow kind of found its home. So
yeah, I mean, if you can't get him
not
on
a wrestling
ground,
fight,
then you can't get him to the ground, then your wrestling's kind of shot.
Yeah. And hold him there.
Yeah.
He took me down, I got back up.
Who's been your hardest opponent so far?
Jake Craig out of Canada.
Is that the bare knuckle guy?
Yeah. He fought a lot of MMA. He's like Canada's top prospect. Dude's a very good game opponent. So.
Yeah. I didn't know he was a bare knuckle guy till you were fighting him like day of.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn, why would you want to fight? Like, this guy's used to getting punched in the face bare knuckle. Like,
yeah. It's part of it. We sliced each other up a little bit.
Yeah.
I got a couple stitches. He got a few more stitches than I did. But, yeah, man, he won by decision. That was my first, pro loss.
Yeah.
So coming off that was
That's a fair loss. I mean, like, he's a stud.
Yeah,
like,
it was
at
decision.
least it wasn't like a fluke where you're like, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a good fight.
Like, he was a stud. 15
minutes, and the guys, like, when we really went at it for a good 15 minutes. So the pace was good. I mean, we're 205, so that, not get tired really
not get knocked out. Yeah.
And not get dropped is the main thing, right? So.
Yeah. What is the fight camp and everything, like the conditioning and everything? So I know you said Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu every day, but, like, are you running? How are you building that tank up? Because I know, like, in wrestling, no matter what we did, like, my dad used to make me run the mile and run the mile and run the mile because, like, 5-6 minutes, is a wrestling match. Well, running a mile versus wrestling 6 minutes is totally different.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I could run a mile in 6 minutes in high school, whatever. Then I'd go to wrestling practice and first round be so winded.
Yeah, it's a total different. I think it's a different, aerobic and anaerobic, right?
Yeah. I think it requires so much muscle and so much thought, like
fast twitch and high pressure situation too. So fight camp, if it's a great camp, I get notice of it being 8 weeks out, 7-8 weeks out, which is great. Along with the nutrition, let's just talk about the training first.
Yeah.
So I train, like I said, every morning, 7:30. I'm there for Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu. I do more Jiu-Jitsu in the morning than the Muay Thai, just kind of coach that class.
Yeah.
And then for the lunch class, I'm there every day at 11:30, and we do Jiu-Jitsu. And then at night from 5 to 9, we're training, right?
Okay.
So it's Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu each day, pad sessions each day. 3 times a week, I do strength and conditioning over with a fantastic person. His name is Nick Womble. Yep. He
knew you were going to say
1513 Performance over here in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Fantastic person. Cannot say enough good things about him.
His training is so cool.
It is the best.
Like, he has thought so in depth into athlete training. Like,
he's a mad scientist.
It's crazy.
I absolutely love him.
Does he make you crawl around on your fingertips? He
makes me do everything that you can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, do the sit-outs kind of?
Oh, yeah.
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 Like crab walk?
All day long. And he's built like it. So
can you do the tightrope?
I can do it.
You can do it?
He's impressed with the things I can do in there for being so big.
Yeah.
Right? So he's putting me on like that next level.
Man,
right?
I haven't seen him in a while. I need to stop over there, actually.
He came to my fight in Tampa. It was really cool.
Really?
Yeah, I do all my camps with him.
Okay.
So I go there as much as I can.
Yeah.
When I'm out of camp, it's like hard sometimes in the schedule.
Yeah.
I know I need to be there more. But when I'm in camp, I'm there.
Okay.
Easy. So yeah, the strength and conditioning 3 times a week, and then the training Monday through Sunday. We train every single day. Even if Sunday is like we're beat up by the weekend, because our Friday, Saturday, Sunday training is really good because it's on the weekend and we can get the guys from kind of, if they're working during the week, if they're a morning, if they work in the afternoons or they work in the mornings, like we're going to so many classes trying to get training partners.
Yeah.
Right? Like I know like I have 3 good training partners in the morning for jiu-jitsu. And then at night, I have the wrestling guy. I have a couple Muay Thai people that I like to train with. So we kind of tailor the training to all that. And then on the weekends, everybody can come together.
Okay.
So that room, that MMA practice of mixing it all together is, it's elevated. It's a heightened room. It's all the people in there that are fighting or competing or helping out. And it's like, you don't go just get water when you want. Like Israel's running the practice with that old school shootbox mentality, but continuing to evolve and keep the technical side to it and, the modern MMA and everything.
Yeah.
So you have like this cool like mix of everything going towards this, focused training session. And that's how like we're all getting better.
MMA has really changed. Like when you said modern MMA, like it really like, if you watch old fights, like even, I told you I work with a guy, Josh, his name was the Sandman when he was he did like a 5-fight card or whatever in the UFC. He's such a slugger. I feel like the days of like that slugger style are like they've passed. Everyone's so technical.
It's so technical. You have to protect the brain.
Yeah, it just has it's changed so much.
Well, you have all aspects of it, right? Like you have those sluggers.
Yeah.
But you have those sluggers with the technical abilities behind it. Mm-hmm. And that's where like danger is created. I mean, did you see the Ian Gary Carlos Prates fight last weekend or so? Mm-mm. Insane. Ian Gary was touching him the entire fight. Prates is a very, very dangerous fighter. Lots of Muay Thai fights. Lots of, good hot streak in the UFC right now. And was completely shut down. Shut down.
So that's a good question. So how is it like coming off so you had a loss and a win, your last two fights. Mm-hmm. Coming off of a loss, going back in the cage, like mindset, did it take you a minute to recomp from the loss, or are you able to just be like, I lost, fuck it, and move on?
Is it a loss or is it a learning lesson?
Yeah.
Right? So I lost technically on my record, but I learned so much. Like those 15 minutes made me 1,000 times better.
Okay.
Right? Like 1, going the distance. 2, because my 4 wins are all finishes.
Okay.
I'm 100% finish rate. Okay. So none of my wins have made it to the 3rd round.
Okay.
Well, made it to the decision, I guess, because I finished people in the 3rd. But my loss, right, is unanimous decision. And just learning that, I can handle these big pro fighters, these big guys, top prospects that are coming off, big weight cuts and everything. Like, they're not 205 when they fight, or 230, 235. Like, these big, strong people, it's like, I'm a top game opponent too. I put my pants on just like you. I'm not scared of nobody. I'm ready to roll. So it's a good, put anybody in front of me, I'm going to do the job, right? Yeah. So it was a good learning lesson.
So you have a great mindset then overall.
It is over everything.
Do you read, meditate, do you do any mental training?
Yeah, I do a lot of reverse visualization.
Reverse
visualization.
How is that?
So fights, you get nervous, right?
Yeah.
It's very nerve-wracking to be like, hey, you're going to fight this person at this day, at this time, in front of these people.
Yeah.
Boom, go think about that for 2 months.
Yeah.
It's going to consume your head and make weight.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes what I do with the reverse visualization is, you're sitting there, say it's fight week.
Okay.
It's fight week and you're thinking about your fight and it's like, okay, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to wrap my hands. It's going to be my perfect warm up, jab, slip, cross jab, boom. I'm doing all this perfect warm up. It's going to be a perfect walkthrough. I'm going to make it out to the cage, get greased up, get in the cage. The bell rings. I walk out there. Jab, jab, cross. Boom, the cross landed. He fell.
Yeah.
Got on top. Hammer fist. Boom, boom, boom. Hand gets raised. I go out to eat with my friends. And it's like, where does that put you? That put me 10 hours ahead.
Yeah.
Right? Why'd that put me so far ahead? Rather than I'm visualizing dinner with my friend, how happy I am sitting at the table.
Okay.
And then from there, I'm visualizing driving to that restaurant. And I'm so happy. I'm going on my phone.
So you're doing I already have $1 million. That kind of mindset.
So I bring myself in and I'm in the cage and then I got the win by who knows what means, right?
Yeah.
I have envisioned all the good stuff. I don't envision bad stuff. If I envision bad stuff would happen. Yeah. If I get put in a bad position in the fight, I rely on my training and all my coaching to put me through it, right? I think about the good stuff and all the
I like it.
All the things that I'm going to be doing, right?
Definitely helps.
So when you're doing that reverse visualization, so you're at the restaurant, you're at the driving, you're at the ring, and then you're going out to the ring, and then you're getting taped, and then you're doing the warm-up, and then you're here. Where does it bring you? Back where you are. You're exactly where you are sitting there, and you're like, okay, you know what? The future's unknown, but I can do exactly what I need to do right now to make that future in my favor.
Yeah.
Right? So optimize what you're doing currently to make sure that the next step is done,
I like
efficiently.
That. I haven't ever heard anyone say reverse. Reverse meditation.
I can't remember who I learned that from. It was
you gotta coin it. It's you, Jimmy Hinel. You said it.
Yeah, no, I definitely took that from. There was a Olympian. I can't remember what event she competed in. I can't remember her name, but she was just talking about. I was kind of Googling or kind of doing research on visualization and stuff, and she talked about it. So I adopted it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I do the same thing with fitness study and stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't really go through the steps like that, but it's more we are the biggest store in Florida. We have thousands upon thousands of customers that come back every single day. Mm-hmm. The team is always winning these customers.
Momentum's always in your way.
Exactly.
Momentum's always in your way. right? It's always with you, and you're always got the momentum behind you, right? Mm-hmm. Don't ever think momentum's against you, right? What's that going to? It's going to push you down.
Absolutely.
And you have to dream.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to be around you if you're not a dreamer. I'm a dreamer.
Yeah, and I cannot stand people that just like suck you into like a hole. Like, you know, people like
energy vampires.
Yeah. They literally just like, you're around them and you just feel like they're just like dragging you in. You're like, dude, I got to be away from you.
Yeah, just like give me something.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Not give me something, but like give me some energy. Like if you woke up today, you should be happy.
Exactly.
I'm sorry to tell you that.
Yeah, I put that on Instagram this morning.
That's funny.
Thank you, God, for waking me up today.
Amen. And that's another thing. People need to get closer with God. I feel like we lost God in so many fashions of this earth.
And like whatever your God is too, like just have faith like in something. Like, I actually have a friend that he's going through, in the last year, he's been going through AA. Mm-hmm. AA, yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this, but AA is a faith-based thing, but it's not faith-based in Jesus Christ. It's faith-based in whatever you need to get through what you're going through.
Absolutely.
You need to have faith in that God. There's a God in AA. It's not the God of AA, but it's
your God.
It's your God. It's whatever you need to get through this time of putting substance aside and
absolutely
moving through that. And I thought that was really cool because a lot of the times, especially like, not to get super religious or anything, but in like Christian faith and stuff, it's like, hey, if you don't believe this, you're just wrong, you know?
Yeah.
Which, who knows? We'll go back to MMA.
Yeah.
But I've always thought it's very interesting. So on the mindset thing, on the visualization, like where is like your dream place to fight, your dream opponent? Like, do you have like a person right now that you want to fight that you think would be?
I don't have a person.
Yeah.
I have a vision.
Okay.
Right?
Can you share that vision?
Yeah, I want the belt. I'm gonna be a UFC champion.
Okay.
This is my vision. I dream this every single day. I dream the next step. I dream the phone calls. I've definitely written it down.
Good.
More than once. I read the Bible every day. I do my things that are made for me. I do my correct nutrition with the correct training and everything. Leave no stone unturned. Be a professional inside and out. Be a professional in life. It's gonna
we push that through on the store.
Correlate directly to the game.
Like,
you know.
We do our process. We do our play with our. We're Fitness Society. We have 655 star reviews because we play the process every single time.
At home, at the store,
exactly.
At the Publix,
holding
anywhere
the standard. If we do the standard in the store, we do the standard outside of the store. If we're in a parking lot at the grocery store and there's trash on the ground, pick it up and throw it away. Be a good citizen.
Yep.
If someone needs help, help them. You know, you're not above anyone. We're all humans, like you said. We all put our pants on the same way. Holding this standard in and outside of the store, around people or not around people. I keep it in my head when I'm at home. Like if I don't feel like doing the dishes, I'm like, you know what? Like the dishes need done. I'm getting them done.
Yeah.
But like you want to sit on the couch or you want to go watch Netflix, but you're like, I'm holding the standard when people are around or not around. And I think that's a big thing.
Especially if it takes less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. If there's a task that takes less than 5 minutes, it's like, why are you going to procrastinate on it?
Kaylee and I actually just started like working on like a standard of being at home, like all house chores will be done before we leave the house. Before we run off in the day and start working or start playing or whatever we do, the house should be top tier.
So when you come home to it, you've already done it, and now you can enjoy reap the benefits of your hard day.
And that way, we're both home at the same time. We're both working together to get things done. The jobs are all done before we leave, because you know what happens in the past is one of us run out, and then I'm stuck home or Kaylee's stuck home with dishes, laundry, and Rex. You know, it's like, fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've been working on this like more of an at-home standard of like, how are we keeping even the home?
You got to do it everywhere.
Yeah.
Your car, your house, your everything.
Yeah.
You know, your body's a temple.
Yes, sir.
Mine's a temple.
So let's wrap it up with, where is your dream place to fight? Like where do you want to be? So where is the vision held at?
I think MGM would be incredible.
Where's MGM?
New York.
New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, blowing up that entire arena and just fighting in MGM. Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. It might be MSG. I don't know. Whatever. Madison Square Garden in New York. That's where I want to go.
All right. Screenshot this time. Jimmy's going to Madison Square Garden. Do you have a date and have you locked it down to like, I think I can get there by X date?
So I want to get the phone call to be on the Contender Series this year.
Okay.
So from there, that's when, things start to roll. I don't know how that's going to go, but I want to get the phone call to the Contender Series this year.
Are we visualizing that daily? Are we in there?
Always. You have to. If you don't visualize, it won't happen.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe or trust what you're doing, it won't happen either.
So I'm a huge component of visualization. I meditate every morning, almost every morning. Mm-hmm. I would say 6 out of 10 days.
What do you do for your meditation?
How I do mine, usually, depending unless I'm working on something or not, I like to go, okay, gratitude. Mm-hmm. What am I grateful for? Thank you for waking up today. Happy I have a wife, my dog, my house, my business, my people that support me. Then I go from gratitude to goals. Mm-hmm. So what are my goals? What are we working towards? And then I like to leave some time for like empty space where usually I'll text Sid afterward and be like, yo, I got this great idea for a video.
That's perfect.
Like, this is where I'm like receiving. This is the point that I've thanked you for my life. I've thanked you for everything. I've put out in the world what I want. You know, we're doing $1 million this year, 2025. Like
all day.
I put it out there. I put out like, hey, I want this out of the team. You know, the team's going to start crushing the process, every person, you know? And then I go into blank space where I just, you know, focus on the mind's eye, really get deep in the mind and really let just receiving. Like I'll even be like, hey, I'm open to receiving right now. Let's answer me some questions.
You're empty and open at the same time.
And I try to just go blank there.
It's good.
And then at the end, I'll usually say like kind of a traditional prayer. Hey, Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for waking me up. Yada, yada, yada. Amen.
Yep.
I kind of wrap it all together. I know like my church specifically, they do not like manifestation. And it kind of drives me nuts. They're like, all this new day mumbo jumbo about manifestation. And I'm like, why do you got to be like that? You know, like it's a real thing.
If it works for one person, it's worth it.
And like, who do you think's answering your manifestation?
Yep.
Your God.
Exactly.
God, some sort. So I don't know why they have to be like so like condescending about certain things. Because like in my mind, prayer and manifestation are virtually the same thing.
Of course.
What do you think? I mean, You're not going to hurt my feelings.
I would agree.
I mean, I think it's just a different way of
agree
saying
in like in times. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Agree in like times, right? I mean, you got to wonder where the prayer's going, but you're obviously that conversation that you're talking with your God.
Yeah.
You know, God for me.
Yeah.
You're manifesting something along with talking and being open and vulnerable at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, that's kind of how I do mine. Gratitude, goals, open mind, like open space, like open to receiving, and then close it off with like a little prayer.
I love it.
Usually 5 to 10 minutes. I think this morning I was testing out Jess, she's our bookkeeper. She sent me this bilateral stimulation. So it ticks in one ear, ticks in the other, ticks in the other. And I did that for like 13 minutes. Interesting feeling, kind of sensation. I gotta play with it a little more and see like it's supposed to be activating both hemispheres of the brain like constantly.
Yeah.
So I want to play with it a little more, but let's wrap this up and maybe we'll hit another one soon. All right.
Sounds good.
Jimmy, thanks for coming on, my man.
Awesome. Thank you, Connor.
Let's get to the pro card.
Let's do it all day.